Coming up on Network Africa. Tight security in Nairobi, Kenya's capital, as opposition leader and supporters return to streets in the protests. And the U.S. prepares to lift economic sanctions against Sudan, citing improvement on human rights and progress on counter-terrorism. Plus, political campaigns in Liberia enter final stages ahead of the October 10th presidential election. Hello and welcome to the program. I am Bisi Adebayo. We begin in Kenya, where the police have fired tear gas at opposition protesters calling for the sacking of election board officials and for changes in the electoral system that brought about the cancellation of August presidential vote. The opposition supporters had gathered for the second time this week in the western opposition stronghold of Kisumu and the port of Mombasa. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has been warning that he will not take part in the 26th October presidential election rerun unless the changes are made. Kenya's Supreme Court voided the August 8th election, citing irregularities without finding any individual at the election board responsible. And still in Nairobi, traders at the popular Gikomba market are counting their losses after fire broke out in the early hours of today. Firefighters have been fighting the blaze at the second-hand clothes market near the city center in Nairobi's central business district. Local media reports that the rescue operatives struggled to assess the area because of congestion and bad roads in the market. Devolution Minister Mwangi Kunjuri says that an investigation has been launched as the incident is believed to be arson. President Uhuru Kenyatta has also pledged to rebuild the market after a fire destroyed several stalls with wares worth millions. Gikomba is a popular second-hand clothes market, but is also renowned as the center of the capital's informal economy, attracting a diverse number of traders. In Liberia now, candidates are campaigning ahead of the polls as the country prepares to hold presidential and legislative elections on October the 10th. This paves the way for a new president who will take over from Africa's first female head of state, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, after her 11 years in office. The new leader faces numerous challenges, from reforming a sluggish economy to improving education and healthcare, as well as fighting corruption in the nation that was ravaged by years of civil war.
Political campaigns in Liberia enter their final stages this week, ahead of October 10th presidential elections, as incumbent president and Nobel Prize Peace winner Ellen Johnson Sirleaf prepares to step down after 2 terms in office. The much-anticipated elections will be Liberia's third post-war presidential and legislative polls, marking the first time a democratically elected president will hand over power to a similar leader. "20 presidential candidates will be competing in this year's elections, including Vice President Joseph Boakai, former footballer George Weah, among others.
From all indication, Liberian people want a change. I mean a change for a better. Because looking at the 12 years of service of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we observed that there were some gains, especially for maintaining peace.
President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf made history in 2005 when she was declared Africa's first female president. At the time, Johnson Sirleaf faced the uphill task of rebuilding a country that had been shattered by 14 years of civil war. But critics say Sirleaf's legacy may be overshadowed by opponents who accuse her of corruption and nepotism.
This year, you have many young people who will be voting for the first time, and I don't see much awareness. Carry on. There is going to be, like, people will vote, there will be many invalid votes.
Despite the numerous challenges that the new president will face, many voters are hoping for a government that will overturn the economy and maintain peace in the country.
For me, I ask that this time let them do less talk and do more work.
Well, I think I'm optimistic that these elections are going to be very peaceful, even though there were one or two isolated cases of violence. But in the overall, I strongly believe that it's definitely going to be a peaceful election.
Johnson Sirleaf took office in 2006 and promised to take Liberia, Africa's oldest independent republic still recovering from the 1989 to 2003 civil war, away from debt and rampant corruption.